Okay, grade 7. Today we're going to learn chapter 9, lesson 1. And the title of your lesson is Volume of Cylinders. Okay? It says right there, Volume of Cylinders. In this lesson, we need to talk about volume, we need to talk about cylinders, and we need to talk about composite solids. Just like we did in chapter 8. Okay, so in chapter 8 we did mostly area, so here we are going to do volume in this chapter 9. Okay, all right. Whenever we are building a three-dimensional shape, we always start with the base. So the base is one layer, and you keep on building the layers until you get the size that you want. So if your base is a circle, think of it as you putting every circle on top of each other until you get the height that you want. Okay, so that's how three-dimensional shapes start. So if I was building this box, I would start with this bottom rectangle and continue building it until this height that I want. So think of it as rectangles on top of each other until you get to the height that you desire. Okay, so let us describe what is a cylinder. So a cylinder is a three-dimensional shape. It has two parallel bases. The bases have to be congruent. Okay, the base on top and the base at the bottom have to be the same size. Same size, same shape. That's what congruent means. So you can't have a triangle on top and then a circle at the bottom. No. The shapes must be the same. The sizes must be the same. Okay? And in a cylinder, you have two circular bases. So, like in your house, you see my container? This is a cylinder. Okay? I have the circular base on top and the circular base at the bottom. Why am I saying they are parallel? These two circular bases will never touch. The base on the top and the base at the bottom, they will never meet. There is no way they're going to meet each other. They will not cross, okay? So if one is on top, the other one is at the bottom. If one is on the left, the other one is still on the left, on the right. So you have two bases that are parallel. They are the same size. This circle on top is the same size as the circle at the bottom. Okay? Also, now why are we calling it a three-dimensional shape? Because it has a base and it has a height. So that means it takes up space. Anything that takes up space is called a three-dimensional shape. So, because it takes up space. Because it takes up space. Okay? So that is how you describe a three-dimensional shape. And also, when you're describing it, because you're using the area, and the area of a circle is two-dimensional, and then you need the height. So now you have three dimensions. You have your two-dimensional shape together with the height that makes it three-dimensional. Okay? All right. So then I drew my picture, and you need to know the parts of the cylinder. So the cylinder, you have a circle, and if you have a circle, you either know the radius or you know the diameter. Remember, the line that starts from the circumference to the center is the radius. And the line that starts from the circumference through the center to the other side of the circumference is the diameter. The base, we have two of them, one on top and the other one at the bottom. So it doesn't matter. This is base 1, this is base 2, this is base 1, or this is base 2, because they are the same size, okay? And the distance between your two bases is what we are calling the height. Remember, it is perpendicular. The height is perpendicular to the base. That means this line and the base, they make a 90-degree angle, okay? Now, we have to ask ourselves, what does the base of the cylinder mean? The base of the cylinder tells us the number of units in one layer, just like that. Do you see that? This one tells us the number of square units, or the number of units in one layer. The number of units in one layer, okay? And then the height of the cylinder, it tells us how many layers are in a cylinder. So if I want to find the height of this cylinder, I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would say here, my height is 6, whatever unit it is, okay? Either centimeters or either meters, either inches, like that. So this is 6 units, okay? So my height here is 6 units. And then if I want to find the units on this base, I will count this circle. I will count how many of these little parts are in this circle. That will give me the units for the base. All right, let's continue. How many types of cylinders do we have? So we have 3 types of cylinders: closed, open, and hollow. Now, this is closed. See, I cannot put my hand inside. There is no way my hand can go inside. So that's why I'm calling it closed. So both the circles are there. The top one and the bottom one are there, okay? Then you have your open cylinder. Your open cylinder, that means your hand can go but cannot go through. It cannot come through the other side, okay? So only one circle is missing. One circle is missing, okay? And then you have your hollow. Your hollow is where your hand can go through, like that. So that means the top circle is missing and the bottom circle is also missing. If you can see through all the way, then that means you have a hollow cylinder. So here, your closed cylinder, both circles are there. Both circles, or both bases are there. Both circles are there. One circle is missing. One circle is missing. And here, 2 circles are missing. Okay? How do we find a volume of a cylinder? So I told you, volume of any 3-dimensional shape, you need to know the base area. The shape that is at the base, you need to know its area. And then you have to multiply by the height. Okay? So in this case, we want to find base area times height. At the base of this cylinder is a circle. So that means I need to know how to find the area of a circle. And then I will multiply by the height. So the area of the circle multiplied by the height gives me the volume of a cylinder. Okay? And we learned this in chapter 8 in lesson 3. I think it was lesson 3 or lesson 2. Lesson 2, how to find the area of a circle. Remember, when we're finding area of a circle, you need the radius. Your formula does not have diameter. So if the question gives you diameter, you need to know what to do to get the radius. Because the formula here only uses the R. It doesn't use the D. Okay? So then we write pi r squared, which is the area of the circle, and then you multiply by the height. R squared means R times R. So pi times R times R times the height. And your answer has to be either centimeters cubed or meters cubed or inches cubed or units cubed. If they didn't give you units, you need to write units cubed. If you don't put this exponent here of 3, your answer will be wrong. So your units must be correct. Your solving must be correct. You need to know that you're only using the radius. So let's look at a question. Let's look at this question here. Find the volume of the cylinder and round to the nearest tenth. So I have my picture over here. On my picture, they gave me the line that starts from the center to the circumference, so I have the radius. And my height is 8.3 centimeters. So 8 3/10 centimeters. So now I do my work here. Volume of cylinder. And then I write my formula. Base area times height. And then I know that the base area is a circle. I write it area of circle times height. And then pi r squared times height. And then pi times r times height. Okay? Now, don't use pi as 3.14. You're going to use from your calculator. You're going to find pi over here. You see it? Right here. So, let's first finish writing our values. So, pi times 5 centimeter times 5 centimeter times 8 3/10 centimeter. How many centimeters are these? There are 3 of them. When you multiply the same number 3 times, your answer has the power of 3, just like that. Now, in your calculator, you will put shift pi times 5 times 5 times 8.3, and you will get that, okay? So you can write your answer like that, 415 over 2 pi, and then you will press SD to get the decimal, and you got 651.88, and then write your units. But the question said we need to round to the nearest tenth, so I will look at the hundredth digit, I will underline it, I will circle the 10th digit. I ask myself, is this value 5 or more? I say yes. So that means I will add 1 here, or 1/100th. Sorry, I will add 1/10 over here. So my answer will be 651 9/10 centimeter cubed, or cubic centimeter. That's how you read this. Cubic centimeter or centimeter cubed. Okay? All right, let's do one where we know the diameter. So if the question gives you the diameter, so they say the diameter is 18 centimeter and the height is 10 centimeter. What is the volume? Okay, so step 1, so you do find the radius. So first, find the radius. So you say R equals diameter divided by 2. So 18 centimeter divided by 2 is 9 centimeter. Then step 2, find the volume. Let me do it over here. So I will write volume equals base area times height. Base area is area of a circle, times height. Pi r squared times height. So pi times 9 centimeter times 9 centimeter times 10 centimeter. That should give me 810 pi centimeter cubed. Okay, so how do I know? Shift pi times 9 times 9 times 10. And you see I got 810 pi. Then I press my SD, and this is 2,544.69 centimeter cubed. And then I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. That means I circle the 6, I underline the 9. 9 is greater than 5. This number is 5 and more. So if this number is 5 and more, I add 1 here. And my answer is 2,544.7 cubic centimeter. And I box my answer. So that is how you do volume of a cylinder. You must know how to read. You must know. Okay? So that's part 1. I'm going to send part 2 after this.